Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be building the SD Blaze Zaku Warrior from Gundam Seed Destiny. This is the first of 4 kits from the set of Zaku Warriors from, well, not all Zaku Warriors, but from Blaze Zakus or whatever from Gundam Seed that I unboxed the other day. And we'll go ahead and get right into it. This is, compared to the SD kits I built the other day, this guy is a little more detailed, a little taller too, as you'll see at the end when I compare him to the regular SD Zaku. But yeah, overall, it's a really good kit. It's a little more, it's probably about as intricate, maybe a little more than the previous one, and you can kind of tell just about as you're building it, having just recently built those other ones, that this is definitely a more relatively more recent SD kit design than those original like Principality of Zeon kits that I had done. This does have a lot of polycaps. You can see it has that huge sprue of them in the back. They're kind of littered everywhere. Some of them were kind of hard to get in position, like this one here. Like I had to use something to try and get it facing the right way. This one you can actually move the eye up and down independently of the head, and like side to side and all that. Whereas on the regular SD Zaku 2, you can only move it side to side. You can move the head up or down. But yeah, these do actually have some option parts, because like I mentioned in the unboxing video, these kits are all pretty similar, and that does allow them to have option parts more than they might otherwise come with. For example, both this and the Blaze Zaku Gunner, which is the next one I'm building, have the option to give it the command spike on the forehead, which because the other two Phantom Zakus have it, as well as you can also give both of them the shields on both shoulders. So I'd just go with the default just to kind of help differentiate these from each other than just different colorways and different backpacks. I mean, obviously the Warrior and the Gunner have different backpacks, and then the other two, I think they're just recolors of each other, so they have the same backpack and all the same stuff. But yeah, another like difference with these compared to, that's like a big improvement from like the other SD Zaku 2 that I did, is the weapons, which you only see them a little bit at the end. The Heat Hawk axes are actually like fully detailed on both sides, and you get 2 of them, which is pretty sweet because they attach to the inside of the shield. So if you want to do both, or how I'm doing it where it has one shield and he's holding the other one. And then also his Zaku rifle is like fully molded and detailed as one piece on both sides, and even like the magazine is molded as one piece. It's not a separate piece, unlike the other one. And I think, yeah, these actually have, if I wanted to store the rifle or his secondary Heat Hawk, I could put it on his back. There actually is a spot to put that there. That wasn't like that on the Zaku 2. You could only put the magazine for his rifle, not the actual gun itself or the Heat Hawk. But yeah, so now we've got the head done, and we've moved on to the body. Both arms can move forward. They can't move back though. Like they're in position or they're forward. It's a similar part that they use for the Zaku 2, where one arm can move like way forward. They decided to put it on just both sides, which I think is an improvement. It allows for more posability, which these do have, because they have longer leg parts, and they have I'll say about the same posability in the arms, maybe a little more. As far as the stickers, I'm only using the eye stickers. Some of the other ones, particularly the one on the shield, the multiple on the going around the edge of the shield, that are big color correction stickers, they're really complicated. I couldn't get them to line up right. I say complicated, I just couldn't get them to line up right, because they fit kind of weird, because they're supposed to wrap around the edges and stuff, and I just decided that I'm just not going to use them. This like the other ones, I'm probably just going to paint it at some point. That'll be a whole separate video when I do it though. Yeah, I don't know if I'll repaint the whole thing. If I get an airbrush at some point, which the plan's open, if I can get my credit card paid off more later this year, I'll definitely get one. a whole little setup, which will make painting these guys a lot easier than just doing by brush like I do with the Warhammer models that I build. But anyway, we have that upper body built, and now we are moving to the arms, which I just showed building one of them, though I do cut everything out here. Like I said, it's a lot of polycaps. The shoulders move independently of the arms. There's 2 for the elbow joint. One that allows for bending, another one that allows for rotation. They connect to each other, which is kind of interesting. It's a different build than how the other ones were. If I remember, I think the other ones just had like one piece going between the 2 of them. As far as other upcoming videos, well, I got y'all here. I think the next one, I'm going to try and do an independent video on magnetizing a Hive Tyrant / Swarm Lord / Wing Hive Tyrant. But I might paint that Psychophage I have first, just because that is one model. It's a big model. I should be able to get it done pretty easily. It's not too complicated, and I'll probably do that first because I don't know how involved magnetizing that Hive Tyrant's going to be. It seems pretty straightforward, though there's a couple things I need to figure out though, like obviously sub-assemblies, and then it has 2 different lower halves for the flying version and the standing version. I could just leave him standing, but I kind of want to use those other parts. So I have to figure out how I'm going to magnetize that to the base and all that. But we'll get to that when we get to that. And now I'm doing the getting the shoulder bits cut out here. So you can kind of see on the sprue, like he has this one spiked shoulder pad, which is like the asymmetric shoulder pad. But there are 2 sets of the other ones that you could use. And there's 2 shields you can see on the sprue. So I could just easily have done that, or if I ever feel like it, if I ever feel like swapping his head with the command spike and putting another shoulder on, I could. No reason why I can't. But I think I'm gonna keep it like this. Just I'm gonna save those parts though. I might even put them together so that they're together. But put it all in a bag with all the extra parts for all of them, because I assume the sprues are gonna have to where I could do the matching shoulders just like this, or I could do it without the command spike. But as we're painting these guys, that will definitely be another day somewhere down the line. I do have a special Gundam kit that I pre-ordered a while back showing up next week. So hopefully not too much time I'll be able to do that. It is a real grade expansion kit that I'm really excited for. And speaking of pre-ordering Bandai stuff, kind of just going on talking about random stuff while this video is going. You know, building these guys is pretty straightforward. Bandai just announced the pre-orders for the model kits for the Air Jordans, which is crazy to say. Man, they kind of, I think they dropped the ball a little bit on them, because as cool as they are, it's 2 sets of them, 2 different pairs. It's $130 for them, which is like insane. I would rather just one pair. I don't even know if I'd pay the price for one pair if it was half priced. And I'd have to be like maybe pay $50 for it. But that shit's $130, and there's no like separate way of getting them, which kind of sucks. It'll be interesting to see if they do another Air Jordan collaboration. I mean, they can, because they got the molds now, so they could just do different colorways and stuff. I don't know, it's part of their like lifestyle collection, I guess, like how they had the cup ramen, the cup noodle or whatever. I still need to get that at some point. But anyway, we're getting this shield. I like how the heat hawk attaches to the shield. It actually has like little spots that hold the handle and like the end. But now we're going to get this, well, we're just going to attach this. I think this is the part that I cut out. No, not yet. I cut out the part where I was fucking with the sticker. No, I think so. It looks like it's all fucked up on the page. Yeah, it's kind of a shame, and I'm probably not going to use those other big stickers either. I don't know, those red ones are pretty small. I might be fine with those. There's a couple smaller white ones. But yeah, some of these like really big like stickers that like wrap around stuff, like one that especially if it's just like wrapped around the edges, that's just going to peel up anyway. So it's kind of like it's only going to be there temporarily anyway, so there's not really a whole lot of point doing it. Yeah, at least I got 2 sets of the stickers in case I did want to try again. I do have a second one because I'm not going to use both shields, but then if I do want to use both shields, then I'm not going to be able to do the white stickers on them. And if you're wondering where that sticker goes, it's the outline around the edge of the shield. Yeah, you can see that peeling up right there. Yeah, I gave up on that thing. And while putting this guy together, I did mess up. After you put the polycaps on, you're supposed to put that black piece for the waist connection, and then combine the halves together. I thought you combined the halves together, and that just goes on top. It doesn't. It doesn't. They slide into each other. But I took it apart and put it together right this time. As far as seams, there's not a whole lot of visible ones on this guy. As far as like where they're obviously visible. The only ones you could probably really see are going to be the legs here, because it's like right in the middle, and like the shoulder, the spike shoulder. The helmet's all one piece except for like the little cap bit that keeps it from being spiked, or if you put the spike there, then that's there. Most of the other ones are kind of hidden, so if I do decide to fully repaint this, might not necessarily need to do too much sanding and like seam filling, which is not something I've ever really done before, so I'd have to learn. But we are approaching near the end. I just got to put this guy together and then build his backpack unit, his flight pack. So we'll go ahead and get this guy all together. And you can, oh yeah, I dropped his leg there. And this guy is a little off balance because of his backpack. It does pull him back some. But once you kind of get him standing, it's not too bad. And also, what he has that I don't think the other ones had either, he does have a little peg hole for putting him on like an action base or something, some type of little stand. So maybe I'll look to see if there's like a decent like stand that comes with a bunch of little things that are the right size, so I could like put all of them on one stand. And this is all the parts for his backpack and his 2 weapons, his 2 axes and his Zaku rifle. Everything except for the poly caps that attach to the flaps that open up. I'll go ahead and get all this cut out and slap it together, and then this guy will be done, and I can do a little side-by-side comparison. So you can see all those little panels got those little darker colored poly caps on. And let's do a little time lapse throwing this guy together. Like you see, like you put all these in, and then you put the other half on. And there's like a little piece with like missile little things on it. So it's got a little bit of articulation, little things it does. Those 2 open up, and then so does that one. And they just attach to the side of the backpack, and then there's a big fin thing that goes right in the middle. So go ahead and get this other side together and clean up those other weapons, and then this guy will be done. And here he is, the SD Blaze Zaku Warrior. I'll go ahead and grab the regular SD Zaku 2 for a little side-by-side comparison for size and for color comparison, because this is different shades of green. The dark green might be the same, but the light green is definitely different. It's a pretty light green. There he is. This guy is very much taller. I think that's why they did that a couple years back. They came out with that like that line of SD Gundams where you could do them either or.